It's better to hear the rebuke of the wise than to hear the song of fools. For it is like the crackling of tongues under a pot. That is just like the laughter of fools. And since we don't want you to be a fool, we want you to always join the Pillars Golden Moment right here, where we learn knowledge. We acquire so much wisdom in pursuit of the execution of our talents for the whole world to see. We believe in one thing, and surely by now I'm sure you agree with us that everyone has gold within. Absolutely everyone. No one was born useless, but we all need wisdom in the pursuit of our talents to the glory of God. Welcome once again to the Pillars Golden Moment, and it's always an exciting and a golden moment because here I get to speak to intelligent, wise, wonderful guests every week in pursuit of our talents. And today is no other day but a very humble, wise, intelligent, add all the accolades. When we start, you really enjoy and love him because he has the Spirit of God. He is Reverend Julian McMahon. He is the presiding pastor. He's the founder of Lifeline Chapel International in Sunyani. And he's married to a beautiful songbird, wonderful lady Dinah Hackman, with 5 children. Yes, 5 powerful children. Wonderful. And this man has indeed harnessed his talents. He has done it. He's not yet there, but he's moving with the speed of light, and the Holy Spirit is helping him. And he is the right person for this topic, harnessing my talent. Harnessing my talent. Are you harnessing your talent? Well, let's go and have a wonderful and a golden moment with Reverend Julian McMahon. So, harnessing your talents, Reverend Julian McMahon. I think I can call you Pastor.
That's right.
Okay, so Pastor, what comes into mind when you hear harnessing my talents?
Well, before I go into that, let me congratulate you for the good work you are doing with the Golden Pillars project. I think I've been following you for quite some time, and I believe that you are doing so well. And you are such people that we are praying that we get in our generation, because such people are not easy to come by. Looking at the kind of world we find ourselves in now, there are a lot of people around who are very despondent and who are giving up already, who think that everything is gone and that there is nothing for them. But some of you come up and you come up with some of these things.
I think it's a whole citation.
Is able to, lift up the spirit of such people. And so let me congratulate you for a very good work you are doing. It's our prayer that this project goes far, and we believe it will go far.
Amen.
Because we are praying with you.
Amen.
And we trust that it will go far. So God bless you so much. And my sister, I call her the woman with a golden heart. So I thank God for your life.
Amen.
And once again, thank you for inviting me to be part of this project. I don't take for granted this invitation, and I trust that God will use us to also impart something into the lives of people who are watching and listening to us.
Wow.
And so, on the subject you just asked, harnessing my talent or maximizing your talents. Talent is an innate something that God has invited in every one of us. And so every one of us in the world has deposits of giftings in him or her. And we call it talents. And I also call it something that God has given unto each and every one of us to have space in the world. And so God has called all of us, and he's giving us what it takes to make it. In the first place, one thing we need to understand as people is that when God created the world, He created things. And when it came to man, He didn't just create man, He made man. So making and creating there are different, there are two different things. Man was made. In other words, God decided to craft us out of Himself. And that's why the Bible says that, excuse me to go a little bit into the Bible, because of the basis I want to make. He breathed into us, and the breath that He's giving us is His life. And it is God Himself that He breathed into us. And so the capacity that God has, that capacity is in us. And that capacity that is of God is what He's deposited in us. So it tells you that man is made of a huge potential. And that's why there is no reason for anybody to fail in life. And that is something that people have not understood. And so sometimes people try to attribute their failures and their inability to do certain things and achieve certain things in life to the fault of others. And I always tell people that you can never blame your background, you can't blame your parents and anybody. God has given you what it takes to make it. He's giving you what it takes to have space. And that is what people haven't actually discovered. The unfortunate thing is that in our part of the world, we are not advantaged in a way, we are disadvantaged a little bit, so to speak. The reason is that our systems that we have actually is not making room for development of or identification of talent and development of talent and maximization of talent because of where we are coming from. Our educational system is actually not, giving us that opportunity. So that's the difference between us and the first world. Their system is such that it's able to help people to discover themselves and to be able to identify the kind of potential they have. And at the end of the day, they have the systems to help them to also achieve what they want to achieve. Unfortunately, that is what we are. But I believe that no matter how disadvantaged we are, God has given us the capacity to break through. And that capacity is what we need to identify. And so, when you read the Bible, especially in Luke chapter 19, where a man decided to go and seek after a kingdom, and he called his servants and he gave them talents. He asked them to work with it. When he came and he called them to give an account, we are told that one came, he said, I've gotten 10. The talent you gave me, I've gotten addition to what you gave me, and now I have 10.
Wow.
The other one came and he said, I also gotten 5. But the last one came and he said that what you gave me, here is it. Take it. Because I know you. I know that you reap from where you have no work.
Could you imagine?
That was the response. And so when you look at these 3 personalities, you realize that there are 2 of them who were able to identify that what they have been given is something that is valuable and it's a resource that they can use to make something meaningful in life. So they decided to use that which had been given to them. And they realized that it was not given to them for nothing. It was not given to them to lie fallow. But they realized that what the man gave them was supposed to be used for something good. But the other person did not realize it that way. He thought that at a point, he thought that maybe he was cheated. And that is what I was talking about when I began. There are people who have excuses. And this one had an excuse. And that excuse actually prevented him or stifled the potential that he had.
Yes.
And so he couldn't break out and to make something out of what has been given to him. If you are not able to maximize the potential that you have, you will be lacking behind and you will end up blaming people. When people are moving forward, you will try to find a lot of reasons why they are doing well, why they are doing that. Sometimes maybe negative attributions here and there because of your mindset. And so if you are not able to identify it, it becomes problematic because you wouldn't know how to maximize it. So that is very, very important.
Wow. And this is, this is a whole book. I mean, it's really, really deep. That means that most of us don't even know who we are.
That's
so
right.
we don't even know how to even maximize, how to really go deep.
That's right.
Wow. So why should the one who had the least talent tell the boss or the owner that he's a wicked man? That means that he doesn't really appreciate what he has given him. Okay. Wow, we are on the Pillars Golden Moments, and today we have Rev Julian McMahon. We just started, so you have not missed much, so you can always join us. And remember, he started with a great citation. We are one of the best, if not the best, citation writers in the whole world. And this program is proudly sponsored by Divinely Rhythmic. Divinely Rhythmic is a citation company where we write very good citations. Here we are, very good citations, beautiful citations for you. And we wrote this to Professor Atukwe Okine. And the title is Cursive Speech. Speech which is cursive, could you imagine? It rhymes, it flows, and it's beautiful. And we can write for your weddings, your spouse, your husband, your girlfriend, any award ceremony. You can always contact Divinely Rhythmic and we'll write the best citations for you. We even have paperbacks where we even write beautiful citations on the paperbacks for you. Alright? So here we go. We love you so much and we believe that when you always call on us, we shall always. You like it, right? So we are sponsored also by Golden Voice Limited. Let's go back to our discussion. Rev Julian McMahon, have you discovered your talent and are you harnessing on your talents?
That's right. That is very, very important question to ask. And thank God I've been able to discover my talent. And every now and then I'm maximizing it, trying to make the best or the most out of it. Because that is what God has given unto me. And that is the opportunity we have. One thing I want us to realize is that God doesn't recruit you without a calling. One thing we have to understand is that our being here on earth is a calling. All right? And God, remember in the scriptures, it is said that many are called but few are chosen. So it means that many are called, many of us are called, all of us here are called. God has called us. But it is only few people who respond to the call, who take up their phone or respond to the call. And those are the people who are able to see through what their being here on earth means. And so at the end of the day, they see it as such. And so remember, at a point, the people of Israel, some way, somehow were trying to veer off. They were flip-flopping at a point. When you read, I think, Ezekiel, and at a point, God told them that remain in your strategic position. Because, you see, God has placed all of us in a strategic position. And if you're able to identify your strategic position and you stay there, that is where you'll be able to become effective and efficient. When you go out of that zone, you will not be effective. That is why it's important to identify, number one, what you are good at, what you are very much are good at. And this, many of us, or many people haven't been able to identify. That is your strategic point. If you're able to identify what you are good at, it gives you the base And now you can be able to spring from that level to wherever you want to go. So you need to know what you are good at. I mean, a lot of us, we don't know what we are good at. We are flip-flopping. We do this, we do that. When we see this person doing this, we want to copy the person. Or this person is doing this thing, is doing so well. So maybe if I also do the same thing, I also do so well. So you end up copying, and at the end of the day, you will not be effective. You see, it's good to copy. At some point, there are things you can copy. But you see, you can't copy an identity which is not yours. You need to have your own identity, fit into your own identity. What you're good at. Sometimes it might not be something very strong. Somebody may have a very strong talent. Yours might not be that strong. And you see, that is how the guy who was given the one talent should have looked at things from. He thought that he had been cheated. He's been given one. Why is it that others are being given 5 and others are given 10? And why me? So sometimes looking at what we have, we actually undermine it because we think that it is not much, but you don't know the gold in it. You don't know the gold in it.
Wow.
And there is nothing that God has put in us that is little.
Yes.
In your eyes, you may see it as little, but in the eyes of God, it's a whole gold mine.
Wow.
A whole gold mine. That you need to, see it that way. That what you have is very much. So you must cherish what you have. What you have seen you are good at is your talent. Cherish it. And make sure that you make the most of it. Don't try to undermine it. Don't try to look at others, what they have, and compare.
Yes.
That's our problem. We compare.
That's true.
And you see, when you compare, you would fail. Comparison, when it comes to talent and other things, for me, is not a good thing to do. You must focus on what you have and make sure what you develop what you have. Work at it. When you develop it, it will become something very, very important. Something that people might have looked down upon it, but at a later date, they will come back and they will realize that, wow, there was indeed something good about this thing, and we couldn't, actually identify it.
That's true.
And so it behoves on you, the individual, to actually cherish that thing that you know is your potential. So identify what you are really good at.
Okay.
And make sure that after you've identified, you need to master it. That is, I call it master your craft.
Master your crafts.
It's very important you master your craft. That means that you have to work at it.
Work at it.
I mean, it calls for hard work, consistency. Sometimes you may go and hit, but when you hit, it does not mean that it is the end. When you fail, it's a lesson to show you that this is not how it is done, but this is how it is done. So it gives you a lesson.
Wow.
So when you fail, it does not mean that you have ended. It does not mean that you have failed everything. In fact, failure is important for your advancement. If you don't fail in life, there is no lesson to learn, and you don't have any experience in life. This life, has to do with experience. So until you also get that enough experience in life, you will not be able to move forward in life. Because you see, experience will help you to actually navigate your route effectively. And so experience is very important. That's why there's that saying that experience is a good teacher. And so there are certain experiences. I'm not saying that something that is glaring, that you need to avoid, you just go and fall into it, and then you glory yourself in it and say that, oh, because of experience. No, that one is bad experience. But this is a kind of, what do we call it, a journey you are undertaking, a sort of adventure you are undertaking. You don't know what is ahead of you, but you go. Sometimes you go and hit, and sometimes you hit so hard, you fall so hard, and it pains. If you don't take care, that pain alone will discourage you and you will stop. But that pain must not discourage you. Pain is part of life. It's very important. Mastering your craft, goes with pain. You will have to stretch. Sometimes you need to stretch so hard to get to where you are going.
But whatever the case, you have to work at the talent.
You have to work at the talent.
It's not easy. So easy.
It's not easy.
Sometimes people you didn't expect to help you, people you think that they should hold your hands,
they will just neglect you. They will leave you at the crucial stage of the journey, and you are like, hey, what's happening? And sometimes it will look as if the whole world is coming, crashing on you.
It's not easy.
And sometimes it looks like you've gotten caught in the middle of the sea, and you are drawing and you are looking for help, and nobody's around to help you.
No one at all.
But I see in the midst of that, you see greater works. And so the Bible says, excuse me, for going back.
You are a reverend, so.
If I'm doing so much in the Bible, forgive me. I know a lot of people are listening.
But I believe that wisdom is wisdom.
That is very important. The Bible says, those who do business in great waters, they see the mighty works.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Those who do business in great waters, in deep waters, they see the mighty works. So you see, if you don't go into the deep sea, you will not see, the bigger things. So, because I've seen a lot of people who have been born into the so-called bourgeoisies, family, but they end up failing because they have the mentality that, they have everything, their parents, everything, they made everything for them. But you see, that is your parents, that is what they made for themselves, not for you.
So you also have to
harness
your talent.
your talent.
You have your unique talent.
That is it. It might be different from what your parents are pursuing.
Okay.
And that's why a lot of people, they are left with so much, what we call it, wealth and all those things. But at the end of the day, they are not able to take good care of it.
Wow.
And they're not able to even make it become bigger.
That is very, very true. And I want to liken it to children. As a father, you see that all your children are unique in a way.
That's right.
They are all different.
That's right.
So, what are you doing as a parent to make sure that
That's
in your
right.
little way?
That is it. It's very important that parents get to that point where we are able to critically assess the potentials of our children and guide them, through that direction. We shouldn't force them into a certain corner. That we think that
I'm a doctor,
so my children should be a doctor because in Ghana, when people do medicine, we respect them so much. When we call you a lawyer, when we call you an engineer, people give you so much respect. And so everybody wants his child to also go to that and go into that career. But that may not be where his talents demands that he should be. And that person will not find fulfillment in doing what he has been forced to do. And one important thing in life is that you need to be fulfilled. You need to find fulfillment in what you are doing. If there is no fulfillment in what you are doing, it's a failure.
That's it.
And the way we actually define success is very wrong.
It's wrong.
We think that success is, building the houses, having the cars, and all those things. But I believe that success, it actually starts from when you find fulfillment in what you are doing.
Yes.
If you're able to find fulfillment in what you are doing, you are able to impart in the lives of others.
That's it.
And the biggest legacy that everybody can leave is the kind of impact you make in life.
Wow, wow, wow.
The kind of impact you make in the lives of others. That one day somebody can say that I have become this because of so and so person. And so people must remember you by the kind of impact you have made in their lives. And so that actually starts from where you began. Your ability to discover what you are made of, and then your ability to work at it, and make sure that you get to the bottom line or the destination. You master the craft and get to where you are supposed to get to, the destination where you are supposed to. And it takes hard work, as I said. It takes hard work. You see, and Proverbs says something very, very crucial. In Proverbs 22, verse 20, it says, "Seest thou a man who diligently goes about his business? Say, he will stand before great men, not mean men." So you see, if you are serious about what you are doing, you get to a point that you will stand before kings, great men. Wow. In account, there's a saying that when a child is able to know how to wash his hands, he's able to sit in council with elders. And so sometimes you may see somebody so young, and you look at the people, the kind of people he's with, the kind of situation he finds himself in. You wonder how he got there. He's been able to actually work well.
That's true.
And he mastered his craft by hard work. And so whatever your hands finds to do, which is your talent, do it with all thy might.
Yes.
Because there is no device, there is no work, there is no knowledge, there is no wisdom in the grave where you are going. And that's why a lot of people die with the best in them. And so there's somebody said that the most richest place in the world is the cemetery. Because that's where a lot of dreams are buried. A lot of people, had dreams. And because they couldn't do hard work. They couldn't actually master their craft. They died, and they died with what they have. And that truncates everything. But you see, when you end up in that way, you have failed in life.
You have failed in life.
Because that's not what God meant for you. What God meant for you is that you will discover your talent, you work at it, and at the end of the day, you are able to, affect lives.
I like what you said about the father. If you're able to develop and master it, you find space on earth, because everyone has a space. Well, we are still enjoying Reverend Gideon McMahon, and the topic is harnessing your talents. He has well spoken, and I believe that you are all really now aware that it's up to you to develop your talent after discovering it and master the craft so well that you shall stand before kings and not mere men. He has really spoken well, and I believe that this video is going to really bless you. Share it to all your friends you believe need to hear such words of wisdom to make them great. We are going on our final words with Reverend, but before then, we ask him our golden question. If you were a woman, would you marry a pastor? And if you would, why?
Wow, this is a difficult question.
Oh, is it?
Well, of course, I know a lot. A lot of women who somebody has told me before that he will never marry a pastor.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But
today she regrets not marrying a pastor.
Oh, okay.
That's right. And so it's a very important question. Having gone through ministry and having encountered God and the things about God, I believe that the most rewarding and the most important job that every woman who wants to be a wife to be is a pastor's wife.
So you don't marry pastors.
That's right.
Okay, so we are coming to marry pastors. But the truth is that it's not about pastors. Everybody has a ministry.
That's right.
So as a wife, you have to marry your
That's
husband
right.
to the
To the
fulfillment
fulfillment of his, yeah. That's
Okay.
very important.
Okay. So if you are will you marry a pastor?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you would?
I will.
And if you were to come back and again in life, will you be a pastor?
I will be a pastor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I see. Well, I'm here, your wife. I'm sure your wife is
Yeah,
watching.
that's right.
Reverend, she's a reverend already, right?
No.
Not yet.
Yeah,
So
but she's a pastor, lady pastor.
Okay, lady pastor Diana Hackman. She's a songstress. She sings beautifully.
That's right.
We salute you, mommy, for looking after daddy so well, for him to come and speak much words of wisdom to us. So you marry and you make sure that you fulfill your vision together.
Right.
And you harness your talent together, isn't it?
That's
but
right.
one more thing, most pastors are not developing their wives to the way they should be because some of them are per se forcing them to be Osopomamis, forcing them into ministry and not considering their personal talents. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah. In fact, that is very important observation you've made. And that really has been very catastrophic for many ministries, many men of God. Because they actually thought that once they are in ministry, their wives should be necessarily become pastors. They should necessarily be involved in ministry and other things. It's important, we all have to do ministry, but there's this peculiar thing that your wife, is made of, that you should help her to concentrate in. You'll be more effective there than to be forcing him to into an area which will not help her. And so at the end of the day, they end up creating all kinds of problems for the ministry.
Yes, because they're not fitting well, so they have to.
That is it.
Yeah.
And that's a serious mistake many men of God are making. And I think that it is something that we have to give attention to try to help our wives, our spouses to, go towards what they have been called to do, and not to try to push them into ministry by force.
And so with this, if she's a businesswoman, support her to do the business and bring even the wealth to help you. If she's a counselor, push her there. If she's a doctor, push her there. And you can even have a church hospital, a church clinic.
That's it.
But don't force her to be suffer by force.
That is it.
Wise words.
And see, we pastors have to open our eyes wide and see into ministry that there are diverse areas in ministry.
That's true.
And that we actually see into and identify where our wives can fit into. And other than that, we force them to be doing things that is not their area. So they end up creating problems for you and for the ministry and for people.
Yes, it's true. Okay, so this is well spoken, and we are advocating that all pastors should heed to this. We believe that this video will go wide for everyone to really, adhere to this and not force our spouses, our friends, our children, anyone around us to do what they shouldn't do, because everyone has a unique goal in them. Yours is 12 carats, 13, 15, 18, 24. We are all different, but we all fit into the space in which we are called to be. Then we shine at last. Well, so Pastor, your final words to the audience, letting them know that indeed you've spoken well. It's important to harness our talent and work at it. Your final words to us as we round up.
What I want to say now is that until you know what you are willing to die for, you are not living. You are just existing. And that is why you need to turn your talent into passion. So you need to be passionate about what you have. And passionately undertake whatever exercises that you need to take to build up and to, develop that which you have in you. So passion is very important. And that is what God wants us to do. When God calls us, He uses our passion to do whatever He wants us to achieve. And so that passion is a drive. And so you need to actually know what you are willing to die for. And that is what you have, which is your talents. And until you discover that thing, you are not ready to live.
Wow.
You are just existing. And we have people who are existing. They are not living. They are just existing, waiting for time to pass them by and take them away. And that is what is happening to a lot of people. That has been the experience of a lot of people in the world. And they cry each and every day. They accuse people for their inability to achieve things. They actually, actually try to find fault with people because they themselves have refused to identify what they have. And so people, what I want to leave with you is that you need to identify, you need to know what you are willing to die for. That will help you to live effectively. And that will make you become effective in life. And you become successful and become fulfilled in life.
Wow. Well spoken. I know you're already a pillar. And for that matter, a golden pillar.
That's it.
I was at your program last 2 weeks.
All right.
Discipleship.
That's it.
Not discipleship.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. You are doing so great. And I believe that.
And let me thank you for passing by.
Oh, I didn't pass by. I came.
You came. All right. You came. Yeah, actually you came.
All right. So
actually,
this is a symbol to show that continue.
Wow.
Because I know the youth are just wallowing
right.
behind you. You are pushing them forward. Please continue to be a golden pillar.
That's right.
And wherever you go, please tell your wife too.
That's right.
I like her personality. She should group more young ladies to be like her. I like her spirit. So that, I think she should come on the program too with her beautiful music and her countenance. So that the two of you come together as a powerful young couple and affect many lives. And as you said, it's your talent to pick up people's pieces and make them better. And God is going to reward you. So thank you for being a golden pillar. And as we just have something small, it's not much, but it's so thank you so much. And on that note, I think we would, before we go, have a 1 minute silence in honor of our late President Jerry John Rawlings. This is a great man who has kept Ghana. I believe he has a spiritual impact in Ghana. We want to salute you, sir, wherever you are, and we believe and hope fervently that you are in the bosom of the Almighty God. We salute you, sir, and may God bless you and your descendants for all the efforts you have made and for harnessing your talents, President Jerry John Rawlings, and making it on earth. We will never forget you. I believe Ghana will never forget you. This has been the Pillars Golden Moment, and it's always an exciting moment with Reverend Gideon Hackman of Lifeline Chapel International, Sunyani. He is a great man of God, and he has well spoken on the topic, harnessing your talents. Are you harnessing your talents? Are you working out to become the masterpiece that God has prepared and fashioned you to be? If you are, well done. If you are yet to, then please pick up the bits and pieces and work hard, for indeed you shall be judged, not only for the sins you have committed, but also for the talents you didn't develop for the world to enjoy, and for you also to have a good life. Until then, I wish you all the best. And remember, it's up to you to make it in life. May that say, Bye.